Hello everyone and welcome back to the Engineer's Guide to the Galaxy. Last time we have tested this shuttle quite extensively and we've been to the moon of Mars, Europe, and to Mars itself. And I have lost him. Oh, there is Mars, and the moon, Europe, is here also somewhere. So we can check that off the list. But before we go, I want to build something else. Well, the shuttle isn't completely finished, but that'll come a little bit later. What I want to build is a emergency escape pod, and it will have a lot of the same blocks. But I do need to revisit this list. So the basic parts are, and I need to find those, are a cargo container. I do need a hydrogen tanks. I'm not sure if I want to add, maybe I want to add one hydrogen engine. I will change the numbers later on. It does need a survival kit, and I will see if I will add an oxygen tank. It will need an oxygen or an O2H2 generator. I don't want any atmo thrusters, and I do want to let it break with hydrogen thrusters. So as an actual drop pod, it will be launched into a gravity well, and then I will use the drop pod script that I also use for the shuttle and make it land safely. So it does need some calculations how much hydrogen thrusters I need. Let's see, I do need gyroscopes, batteries, remote control, antenna, a projector. I don't think I need a projector for this one. It's more or less one-time use survival ship. Actually, similar as the survival pod you get when you start the game on a planet. Only a little bit bigger, because this is supposed to be for multiple people. Not sure if I need a sensor or something. I might need that for the launch system, so when it is launched from the ship. And I do want a passenger seat. A weapon rack would be nice. I'm not going to add a Gatling turret. And no control seats. I will need programmable blocks and all the other things. I will go through this list and through this list and make a final one, so that I can start gathering the parts and start building this ship. Okay, I think I've got the list complete. I've changed the numbers, so I am aiming for a not too big ship with 4 small hydrogen thrusters facing downwards. I hope that is enough. 2 gyroscopes, 2 batteries, and going further down you can see that I have mentioned 4 scripts, and yeah, again, I don't want to make this this escape module too complex, but on the other hand, I do want to make it completely automatic. Yeah, The interesting bit will be that, as you can see, I mentioned here connector top. I want the connector to be on the top part of the ship, so that you can walk in the drop pod and it's connected on its top, and then it's shot outwards of the ship. And for that I need some other blocks, by the way. I forgot those. Artificial mesh blocks, these ones. Well, let's put them a little bit more on the top. Artificial mass. I think 4 to 8, something like that. The more you have, the faster the drop pod will be launched out of the ship. So yeah. Next, I think it's time to build. And as I mentioned, this will be a little bit weird because I want to load the drop pod from the top, and let's get a little bit of a toolbar together. So here is the connector. I hope I don't have to use junctions, but I might. I do need a survival kit, connector, or a container. It's also possible that I will add a large cargo container. That will give me a little bit more freedom in how to construct things, but it's also kind of massive. Any other large parts are the O2H2 generator, the tanks.
Energy low.
Okay, it might be kind of a big ship and heavy, especially if I want to make it useful for multiple people. I was hoping for about 8 or 10 people that are able to stay in there. Let's see if there are other large parts. The hydrogen engines, and they also need to be piped. Yeah, I think these are the large blocks for now. Let me get some energy, which I can get here from the shuttle. And let's start placing some blocks. And again, for this build we start with the default setup with a small merge block and a connector. Then the medium cargo container, it has only 2 sides with the large conveyor ports. So if I will place this, then there's no way I can go to a or to the survival kit in a way that this will be horizontal without using one of the conveyor pieces. And I don't want to use any additional blocks, which are this big. So for that I am going to use a large cargo container. And I think this will be the right way. Oh, come on. Like so. And then I have a large port on the top and on the bottom. And I actually want the parachutes quite high and in the center. And that means that I want to keep the mass of the drop pod I also want it to be as center as possible, and it helps that the large cargo container is in the center. Then another big block is well, the survival kit, and it needs to have its cargo port to that side, and I will leave the other side open, and that will be my access point, I think. Is that a wise decision? I have small access points on the side, and you can get all the components out of this container from the small cargo ports when you access it manually, and that will leave me with the option to have an oxygen tank here, or even a hydrogen tank, but do I want a large hydrogen tank? Yeah, it's for a lot of people, so let's put a large hydrogen tank here. And then on this side I can place the let's see, yeah, the small cargo ports are in this direction, so I should be able. Oh, I've got a O2 H2 generator I need, and an oxygen tank. I do have the engines that I want to place somewhere, and then there's the thing that this is a large cargo port. Okay, I need to think about that. But this is actually the functional spine of the build of the ship. It is getting a little bit wide, but well, my repair system should be able to handle this. Yeah, and I should weld this up so that I can see what I am dealing with. So this is the start. I don't want it to be much longer than this, so this will be the end. And to mark that, I want to place a vent on one of these conveyor ports. I'm not sure if I'm going to make this bit airtight. I don't think it is necessary, and on this end I want to be able to walk around this tank, and maybe add 2 doors on either side, one and a row of seats on this side and a row of seats on the other side. So that is that plan. So what do I need? I need the connections for the hydrogen thrusters. I've got them below here on the container and on the hydrogen tank. I think I'm going to place the batteries down below here, and I am wondering if I should place a solar panel on top, because, well, it is a survival unit, so that might be a nice thing to have. Let's see, is this one still printable by this system? It is not, unless I relocate No, it's no longer printable by this system. It's too long. These this O2, yeah, it's this. Well, the O2 tank would be possible, but now the O2H2 generator is still printable, but the tank isn't anymore. So yeah, so far that's not really something helpful. It is possible to change that. Yeah, I'm going to relocate these two parts. They're going below the survival kit. So that'll be this unit. I think like this. Something like this. Oh, there are 3 sniper drones coming my way, so I need to deal with that. Got my grinder. And let's see, they are over there, 2.8 kilometers away. So I will wait for a sec. Alright, I've thought about this, and in order to keep it printable, I will add 2 merge blocks on either side. And as mentioned, I want the parachutes quite high, so I've got a merge block over there. So I will need the small conveyor below there, and a merge block on either side. So in the end I will rotate this drop pod by 90 degrees around this axis. And then I've got a little bit margin to play with. Right now it's exactly 3 large grid blocks long, and then I have space for 4. So basically 2.5 small grid blocks on either side. Next I need some batteries, and I will feed the oxygen system and the hydrogen thrusters from the cargo container, so I have space to place the batteries if I have them somewhere on my hotbar, right here. And I think 2 should be sufficient right here. And let's keep in mind that this thing should be printable. I might add the computers, the programmable blocks on this side, but I need a walking floor. And I think that should be on this level. I don't want to make it too high because I need to get in. So that's something to deal with. And I'm not sure which side I want to use to as an entrance, and I think this side, because this one is close to the survival kit, and that will come in handy, I think. I might even add an additional Yeah, I'm going to add an additional connector on that side. And I'm rethinking the entire build. I want this to be on the top side so that I can use it for the launch system, but for printing purposes I can place a connector on this side, and then I can make the ship a little bit longer and have a walk around over here. Yeah, now it's coming together. Let's add another thing, and that is the center of mass. It's a little bit high and a little bit too in the direction of the gas tank, the hydrogen tank, and that might be caused by the batteries. Okay. So I want to keep this side as short as possible. So let's immediately place a connector over here. And of course a merge block. Can I fit it here? No, I need an armor block and then a merge block. Yeah, this is better. This way I can print it properly. Yeah. And I might have enough. One door should be enough. You can go left, you can go right to the seating. The only thing is that I have to close this off properly. Maybe add a window on the rear. Would be nice. And yeah, make this completely airtight. There is something I need to do. All right. Yeah, let's do that first, because I was forgetting the hydrogen engine. So I will place this battery one to the back, or 2 blocks to the back, and that means that I've got a little bit of space here. If I can rotate it right, and there is the engine. There is one thing I need to take into account, because this is quite difficult to get airtight, so I need to wrap armor around this block. Should not forget that. It's quite important. So yeah, let's get this welded up. A little jump in time forward, and we have a platform. And I've got a bit of a module here in the center with the 4 programmable blocks. I've got a remote control, and here I have a button which will start the launch sequence. There's a vent for pressurizing the escape module, and 2 LCDs. One of these LCDs I want to use for the easy automation script, so that it's shown what is happening. And this is a inventory overview LCD, which will be similar to, let's go to the shuttle. This one. This inventory, so you can see how much stuff is on board, and especially the consumables are interesting to know. It won't have any ammunition on board, I think, but the hydrogen and oxygen batteries are quite important. And of course the parachutes, which I have forgotten to load up in the shuttle. But that's a last resort. Let's see. What is next? Well, I did update the to-do list. So what we have left are, well, the thrusters and the gyroscopes. I will place them down here. Let's activate the mass, center of mass overview again. And you can see it's still quite far in the back. But that might be due to the fact that it is linked to that bit. I believe it is, when it's just floating around, it's a little bit more forward. So yeah, that's something I need to deal with. In the meantime, I can make the capsule. And let's start with the braces I want to have around. And I can have these braces every 3 blocks, I think. Because I want the windows. Let me think. I do want some windows. Yeah, I don't want to make it any bigger than necessary. What I do want to check, but I will check that after I've built this shell, is the weight of the escape module. I'm curious, but we'll see. Let's do this first. Well, the module is completely unwrapped, except for the front and the back of the ship. And the bottom. The bottom needs to be fixed, but I'm not really certain how this all will look. But for now, the sides and the top are complete. Well, the vent is in there. I've changed the parachutes a little bit. The parachute hatches are placed sideways over here. And what I've also placed is an ore detector and an antenna over here. So those parts are also in there. It's going very well. So this is full. What I do need to do is make an edge of blocks. I'm not sure what block I'm going to use for that. But you can see here, this isn't. It should be airtight, but I do not like how it looks. So I will place I think a continuous beam of blocks in there, and I should be thinking about some lighting. I want a light here at the entrance, and I think a couple of lights over here. Yeah. And it's all easy to walk along, so you can reach everything. I was thinking of placing the weapon racks in the back, right besides the hydrogen tank, and maybe place an additional window in the front. Because, and that's common practice, is when you land, you rebuild this landing craft into a rover. That's common practice. So it should be able to be driven from one of the seats, and a window, well, it's principally it's not necessary, but it's nice to have. And what else? Well, first I will place additional blocks over here, and then I will weld let this all weld up, and we will see how it all looks. And I think it will, it's not a spectacular ship, but it'll do what it needs to do. So yeah, let's place the last blocks and then weld it up. The ship is right now 32.4 thousand kilograms. That means, oh, get my pointer again. The small ones. And let's look at the 1.2 Gs. That means that I already need 4 small hydrogen thrusters, and that is to stay afloat. I do need some braking power, and by closing the front and end and loading up the cargo container, I reckon I will need 8 small hydrogen thrusters. Yeah, that should be sufficient, I think. And otherwise I still have the emergency parachutes. But I think that will be fine. I'm not going to use magnetic plates, by the way, for this build. I am going to use the default landing gear. I think that suits this build better. I must say it's quite dark. I had left some spaces open. Apparently not here, but this one should be open and this one should be open, because I did leave those spots open at the bottom and on the other side as well. On these locations I will place corner lights that will have that will be blinking, so they're warning lights. And around the ship I do want some surround lighting, at least at the bottom, and a couple at the front and the rear. Yeah. So let's go back to the board. The to-do list. I will need 8 small thrusters. I think 2 gyroscopes will be it's not enough. I think I will place 4, and I will place 8 artificial masses. So let's reshuffle the list real quick. Okay, this is what is left. I want to focus on the bottom for now. I think, or maybe the front and the back. Yeah, I think focusing on the front and the back is a little bit better, because I want to balance the ship with the gyroscopes. The center of mass is almost in the center of the cargo container, and I would like it to be in the center of the cargo container, and I can check it when hovering above the connector here. Oh, it's also a little bit off center. Okay, because if I need a parachute, it's best if they are above the center, otherwise the whole module will be hanging sideways during the landing. And when loading the cargo container, it also will be, the center of mass will also be pulled towards the center of the cargo container. So yeah, I think working on the front and the back is best thing to do right now. So let's set this all up again and get working. Well, the module is nearing its completion. I've built windows all around, so it's actually quite luxurious. Besides the fact that the interior is stacked with the functional blocks, as you can see here, and the container and the tank. I do want to finish this a little bit. I believe it was this combination, and I will make this quite sleek like this. With a corner like so. And what is following this bit is of course the bottom, where the last couple of functional blocks need to be placed. And the weight of this ship is nearing 50k. It is quite, it's quite heavy, and having only 8 small thrusters, well, there is the possibility that that it's not enough, because that will be 64 metric tons, so 64,000 kilograms. I see it happening that it will be this heavy, so I reckon I will place 10 thrusters. So quickly update the board. Where is it? And I hope that's enough. In the meantime, I have, what I forgot to mention is that I have some weapon racks in the back over here. So they are part of the build, and I've placed a camera on the front and the rear at the same location. At the rear it's just above the connector, and here you can see with the spotlights on top and what are they called? The offset lights at the bottom. This way you have, especially when driving, when this is rebuilt to a rover, the offset lights, they light up area that's closer by, so you can see where you drive, and the offset spotlights, they shine a bit further. I will set up these lights on the side to blink and be red. The top is done. I'm done with that. The bottom needs to be finished. I've got some mesh blocks, and I think by default they should be turned off. Oh. So let's turn these off. So I will need 10 thrusters. And this is a little bit annoying for me, at least, because I cannot mirror that, because it's an even number length ship. So let's make it 12. So I've got 2 rows of 6, and that should definitely be enough. What else do I need? I need landing gear, and do I have them on the hotbar somewhere? Yes. In a different color, please. So they will come here, I think. Yeah. So that's a landing gear. The thrusters, I want them centered. So from here, and then 6 blocks. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 up to there. This can be a normal conveyor, like so. So then I've got the thrusters as well. What else do I need? Oh, right, the gyroscopes. And it would be nice to have a sensor somewhere. I can hide one here in the front. There will be some armor coming over that. And what else do I need? I think that'll be about it. At least what needs to come at the bottom. So yeah, I will place the thrusters, and then I can close off the bottom. Alright, the thrusters are built, the gyroscopes are built, the landing gear are built, surround lights, I've got them done. There's a sensor on board. I don't have LCDs on the side, but yeah, I also don't really have a proper location for an LCD. So I was thinking of maybe using some letters, and then mostly to spell a name or abbreviation, maybe something like EM and then the number of the escape module. I think that is best. Yeah. And then where should I place them? Let's see, the letters. And numbers. Should use a different color. This will be fine. This, for example, is EM 1. And I will do this in every corner. I think the system is pretty ready to continue the setup, the naming of the blocks, setting up the scripts, and building a location where this module can connect to the ship. For that I also need to build a load of gravity units. Let's see, the gravity generators. And for that they need a lot of gravity components, and I should be able to make them. Oh, I cannot check that from here. It's a bit tight over there. So let's see. The gravity components. They do use gold, and how much gold do I have? Gold. 20. Nothing. That's a problem. I don't have any gold. There goes the last gold. Yeah, that is a problem. I need to find gold. So without the gold I cannot continue this bit. The idea was to place about 8 docking stations for the escape modules with a path coming from the elevators over there. They also need a connection to the gas line and the load line. So that needs to come here as well. But as I mentioned, without the gold I cannot make the gravity components for the gravity generators. In the meantime, this drop pod or escape module is done. Well, it is built completely. All the components are on board. Space for 10 people. Enough hydrogen to land, I hope. Enough space for storage. A survival kit, which is nice. All the controls are here. A couple of batteries in the floor. There's even a hydrogen engine, which will be off, but well, if you need it, there is one. And it should all be airtight, I hope. But yeah, we will test that next time. Next time we are going to find some gold. I really need it right now, so that's really high on the priority list. Without gold I cannot continue this bit of the project, or the next bit of the project. And with the building the docking for the modules, for the escape modules, I will also try and set up everything within the module itself. In the meantime, we will be continued traveling to the alien planet. The alien planet has a gravity of 1.1, I believe. So that is a very nice testing ground. It's quite a bit away. So traveling there will take some time, and I hope I find some gold on the way. And with that, I want to end the episode. I hope you've enjoyed this one. If you did, please leave a like, and I will see you next time.